Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips and here is our review of Netflix's Fear Street Trilogy, starring Kiana Madeira, Olivia Welch, and Benjamin Flores Jr. Here we'll give you our spoiler-free rundown, our overall thoughts, and final rating of the series. Let's get started. The Fear Street Trilogy follows the story of a group of teenagers who become the latest target of their small-town serial killer. As they try to evade this murderer, they start to uncover an ancient evil tied not only to their current spree, but brutal murders that have plagued their town for over 300 years, leading them to try to stop the cycle once and for all. For Netflix's latest experiment, Fear Street tried a new method of releasing its 3 films on a weekly basis. This style went against what Hollywood's typical slow burn and anticipation is for films, instead opting to go the route of streaming TV series with a surprising amount of success. It took a limited series-length story, compressing it into 3 films, and gave the audience enough time to fester with questions, waiting for the next installment. What was delivered was a story of grand proportions that infused the deeper themes of its source material to the tropes of the horror genre. Each of the 3 films had obvious influences from the iconic slasher stories that have lived in those decades, but Fear Street manages to keep an overall consistency to its madness thanks to using the same writer-director across all 3 narratives. This leads to a strong narrative that continues to not only build on the original underlying story and the world that surrounds it, but also shifts with each film to create a new atmosphere. The change in atmosphere and the storytelling elements helps the series to avoid feeling like a cheap ripoff as each film progresses, instead standing on their own as strong slasher stories. What is confusing, however, is what tone the series is really going for. Does it want to be a children's horror story similar to its source material, or dive headfirst into the gore-first violence of the slashers it emulates? Beyond all of this, the performances are surprisingly strong for a horror series, in particular the teenagers at its core, and the severely underused Jacobs. There is a bit of stumbling through the final film as many of the younger actors return to play new characters with 17th century accents, which don't always hit their mark. Thankfully, by this point, the stage is set and the audience is invested. Fear Street is a tense slasher horror that takes everything that works within this genre and builds a strong world around it. While there are some underwhelming performances in the 3rd film, and the tone seems to raise a few questions, the overall narrative, gory moments, and characters make this 3-film homage to horror stories of old a worthy addition to any enthusiast's watch list. This trilogy does everything right with its source material and this genre, while successfully experimenting with its delivery of a 3-film arc. So I'm going to give Fear Street an 8.5. And that's our review of Fear Street. If you've seen it, what did you think of the trilogy? Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and thanks for watching.